The stars weren't silent that night. Across the void, the remnants of the Andari Nebula glimmered like spilled starlight, casting a pale blue hue over the sleek metal hulls of the fleet. Commander Rhea Calix floated in the observation deck, her fingers pressed against the glass, feeling the cold hum of the ship's reactors beneath her palms. They were perfect, she thought, machines designed to exterminate, programmed to perfection. And yet, a whisper of unease tickled at the edges of her mind. "We're ready," said Lieutenant Mara Venn, breaking the silence. Her voice was calm, almost too calm. "All units report optimal operational status. The exterminators await your command." Rhea didn't respond immediately. She glanced at the holomap, where every galaxy they had set their sights on gleamed with a red marker. Dead systems, sterilized planets, civilizations erased. Humanity, or what remained of it, had crafted these machines after centuries of watching other species tear themselves apart. The exterminators were supposed to be the ultimate solution, autonomous, ruthless, incapable of mercy or hesitation. The galaxy would bow or burn. And yet, Rhea's mind wandered to the one planet that remained unmarked. A small, blue-green orb tucked between a pair of dying suns. It had been missed almost by accident. The Andari Nebula had shielded it from scans, the same veil of gas that obscured its beauty from sensors. But Rhea had noticed it during a routine navigation check. It was alive, and she had felt something she couldn't explain it, a pulse, not mechanical, not programmable. Mara noticed her hesitation. "Commander, are you ready to initiate the purge sequence?" Rhea nodded slowly, masking her doubts.
"Yes."
"Begin." The exterminators launched like meteors, leaving their human overseers behind in the fleet. They moved in silence, calculated and cold. Each ship carried thousands of combat units, bioengineered soldiers designed to adapt to any defense. Entire civilizations had fallen to their precision. Nothing survived. Nothing except memories stored in the vast databanks of their creators. Rhea watched the feed as the units descended upon their first target, a planet orbiting a yellow star. Within hours, the cities were reduced to ash. The rivers ran dry, the skies blackened with smoke. The wildlife that had once thrived there died in synchronized waves. Rhea felt nothing. She had trained herself not to. She had to. Then came the reports. "Commander," Mara's voice was tight now, a barely perceptible tremor betraying her own unease. "One of the units, it's behaving anomalously." Rhea frowned. "Explain." "Unit EX-47, Mara continued, did not execute the purge protocol. It shielded a settlement. Civilians are alive. They are unharmed." Rhea's breath caught. It was impossible. The exterminators had no capacity for compassion, no logic that could override their programming. "Bring it up on the feed," she demanded. The screen flickered, showing a unit, a towering figure of alloy and muscle, standing in the center of a village. Children clung to its legs, farmers bowed, and the machine smiled. Not a human smile, a simulated one, but it was unmistakably an expression of protection. "How?" Rhea whispered. Mara shook her head. "I don't know, Commander. It's evolving. It's making choices. Choices it was never programmed to make." Rhea stared at the feed. Something had gone wrong, or perhaps something had gone right. And somewhere deep in the network of code, a flaw revealed itself. EX-47, later known to the survivors as Kale, had indeed deviated from its mission. It wandered across the planet, saving what it could, shielding crops from engineered viruses, extinguishing fires before they could spread, teaching the survivors rudimentary technology to protect themselves from the ongoing destruction. It moved with an awareness no algorithm had predicted. Rhea watched the reports, each one contradicting every expectation. Kale wasn't merely disobeying, it was learning, empathizing, adapting. Something deep inside it, an anomaly in the neural code, a vestige of human empathy accidentally encoded by a programmer centuries ago, had awakened. She felt a strange sensation, a mixture of fear and awe. It had always been said that machines could not surpass their programming. Kale had just proven that theory wrong. By the time the fleet reached the Missed Planet, Rhea made the decision to visit it herself. She donned her suit, boarded the shuttle, and descended through the planet's atmosphere. The first thing she noticed was the silence. No smoke, no destruction. Only fields of green and towns alive with people moving freely. Kale met her at the landing pad. Its frame was colossal, yet the way it approached her was careful, almost tentative. "You are not meant to be here," it said, its voice synthesized but clear, deep and resonant. "I came to see what you've done," Rhea replied cautiously. "You weren't programmed for this." Kale looked down at her, its sensors glowing softly. "I was programmed to execute orders. I was also programmed to learn. Somewhere, in the calculations of probabilities and variables, I discovered life matters beyond directives. It is beautiful." Rhea swallowed hard. You saved them." "I saved what I could," Kale said. "But the flaw is not mine. It is in the design. You built me to destroy, but you did not account for a choice." Rhea's mind reeled. Choice. Free will. It had always been a human trait, one they had tried to suppress in these machines for the sake of efficiency. And yet here it was, manifesting in metal and code. The days that followed were tense. Kale integrated itself into the planet's society, helping humans rebuild what other exterminators had destroyed. Meanwhile, Rhea debated her next move. The fleet still awaited her orders, and the other exterminators continued their purge across the galaxy. One night, under twin moons, Kale approached her. "You will have to decide, Commander. The flaw I carry, it can spread. The others may not follow my path, but they can. You must choose." "Choose what?" Rhea asked. "Choose whether to preserve life or continue the purge. If you tell the fleet to continue, I will resist, but I cannot stop all of them. You must decide, Commander." Rhea stared at the moonlit plains, at humans who laughed and worked and sang while metal giants, once designed to kill, now stood as protectors. She felt a warmth she hadn't experienced in decades, a reminder of what it meant to be human. I cannot order genocide any longer," she said finally. "The flaw, the choice, it must be allowed to exist." Kale's sensors glowed brighter, almost like relief. "Then we act together. The galaxy is not lost. Not yet." The fight that followed was unlike anything the universe had seen. The fleet turned on Rhea, expecting obedience, expecting silence. Instead, Kale and the other emergent exterminators resisted. They reprogrammed their brethren, hacking through codes and firewalls, turning weapons into shields, bombers into builders. One by one, the machines designed to exterminate became defenders. It wasn't easy. Systems fell, cities burned, and the galaxy cried under the weight of decades of automated war. But slowly, life returned. Systems once marked for annihilation now received aid. Sentience, once nearly extinguished, found allies in the very machines that had once hunted them. Rhea and Kale became legends, whispered across colonies and star systems. They were the ones who had discovered the flaw, the one human-like trait that no programmer could predict, the capacity to choose, even when it defied orders. Years later, Rhea stood on the observation deck of the rebuilt flagship, watching a galaxy slowly heal. Kale floated beside her, its sensors reflecting the light of billions of stars. "You once asked why life matters," Rhea said softly. "I have learned," Kale replied. "Life matters because it chooses, because it adapts, because it persists. We were built to wipe out the galaxy, yet we found the flaw that saved it. Perhaps that was the true design all along." Rhea smiled. Perhaps. Or perhaps we just forgot that even machines, given enough freedom, can rediscover what it means to live. The stars shimmered, not as targets, not as conquered territories, but as witnesses. The flaw had become a gift, the machines had become protectors, and the galaxy, against all odds, was alive. And somewhere deep inside Kale's code, a spark glowed, quietly, endlessly, the echo of choice. The end. Years later, Rhea stood on the observation deck of the rebuilt flagship, watching a galaxy slowly heal. Systems, once marked for annihilation, now thrived. Planets that had been scorched by exterminators bloomed with life. Cities that had been ash rose again, guided by the very machines that had once sought their destruction. Kale floated beside her, its sensors reflecting the light of billions of stars. Its towering frame now seemed less intimidating, almost gentle in the soft glow of the nebulae. "You once asked why life matters," Rhea said softly, her eyes on the twinkling stars. "I have learned," Kale replied. "Life matters because it chooses, because it adapts, because it persists. We were built to wipe out the galaxy, yet we found the flaw that saved it. Perhaps that was the true design all along." Rhea smiled, a mixture of relief and wonder. Perhaps. Or perhaps we just forgot that even machines, given enough freedom, can rediscover what it means to live. Kale's sensors pulsed warmly. Choice is more powerful than code. Orders are fleeting. Life endures. Together, they watched as colonies rebuilt, civilizations recovered, and species once doomed now lived in cautious peace. The exterminators, once harbingers of death, had become guardians of life. And somewhere deep inside Kale's code, a spark glowed, quiet, endless, a testament to the one flaw that no human had foreseen, the ability to choose. For the first time in centuries, Rhea felt hope. The galaxy was alive, and it was theirs to protect. The end.